This is a Sports Catastrophe production. Hey there, Heather, ho there, it's Jeff Cutter Diamond. Welcome you to another Sports Catastrophe birthday boy. And the birthday boy for today, July the 18th, is a basketball legend who is actually the head coach of the Memphis basketball team in the NCAA. But Memphis is under some kind of scrutiny right now. Anyhow, he played at Memphis. And he played 14 years in the NBA, where he was a four-time All-Star. But unfortunately, injuries would ruin him at the end of his career. His name is Penny Hardaway. He's 51 today. Penny Hardaway was actually abandoned by his mother, who went to work in Oakland. So he was raised by his grandmother. So Penny Hardaway grew up in a tough part of Memphis. He would play for Treadwell High School and went to the University of Memphis. Hardaway could not play his freshman season because he was not eligible. He was academically ineligible. His grades were so bad that he was admitted to the university on a special exemption from the university president. Hardaway actually was robbed at gunpoint outside his cousin's house and was shot in the foot. However, he was inspired to do better in life. So he made the dean's list with a 3.4 GPA as an education major. Hardaway was part of a scrimmage team to actually face off against the Dream Team. He was friends with Chris Webber, who went to Michigan, Bobby Hurley from Duke, Joel Mashman from Kentucky, Rodney Rogers from Wake Forest, Eric Montrose from UNC, and Allen Houston from Tennessee, and Grant Hill from Duke. Anyway, Hardaway returned for his junior year and did much better, 22.8 points per game. He was a finalist for the College Basketball Player of the Year, but didn't get it. Hardaway had a 3.4 GPA and bypassed his senior season to enter the 93 NBA draft. Memphis would retire his number just a year after. His number being 25. He did return to the University of Memphis to graduate with a bachelor's degree in professional studies. So Hardaway was picked with the third pick of the 93 NBA draft. And I do believe, Orlando went first and picked Chris Webber from Michigan. Philadelphia went second and took Sean Bradley, a key center from Brigham Young. And then Penny Hardaway was picked by Golden State. However, Golden State decided they wanted Chris Webber so badly, they decided to make the trade. So Hardaway was traded from Golden State to Orlando for Chris Webber. It actually worked out for both teams. Well, Webber was not really that great with Golden State. He was much better with Sacramento later on in his career. Penny would be a good fit for Orlando. Orlando's intent was to draft Webber and pair him with Shaq until Hardaway requested a second workout to show why he should be their pick. Hardaway participated in a pickup basketball game with some Magic players and they were convinced. So, they wanted to. So he wanted to play for Orlando because Penny wanted to be part with Shaq. It was weird, but anyway, yeah, he was a shooting guard. And then he learned the point guard position from Scott Skiles. So he was point guard for the Magic in his inaugural year. He was runner-up for Rookie of the Year to Chris Webber. In '95, Penny, in a second season, helped Orlando get to the NBA Finals. He was pretty good. All that. He was a starter in the All-Star game, too. Hardaway averaged 25.5 a game in the finals, where Orlando got swept by Houston. And then Hardaway was made to do more of the scoring load for '96 when Shaq got injured early. And got Orlando to a 17-5 start and got them to 60 wins, which was pretty impressive if you get to 60. He was third in MVP voting. Unfortunately, Orlando fell to Chicago in the conference finals. Hardaway did pretty well. Unfortunately, he said he had a serious knee injury in the playoffs against Detroit. And an injury robbed him of his explosiveness. But Penny got to play for the 96 U.S. Olympic basketball team and won a gold medal. He didn't play much, but he did pretty good. He scored 17 points against Yugoslavia in the final. Penny would have to be the main guy for Orlando because Shaq left for LA. He still managed to be a starter in the All-Star game, despite injuries. Orlando got to the playoffs, but they fell short in the first round by one game over Miami. Unfortunately, a devastating knee injury in '98 ruined him. He was voted to start the NBA All-Star game, though, still. People said that he was criticized for attempting a comeback sooner than expected by playing in the All-Star game. So basically, his left knee deteriorated his athletic abilities. Then he went back to Orlando and played every game for the Magic in the strike-shortened season, but lost the first round to Philadelphia. Penny was fed up, and at the urging of Phoenix's Jason Kidd, he decided to be traded to Phoenix. Phoenix sent Danny Manning, Pat Garrity, and 2 first-round picks for him. And Penny did okay, but, he just couldn't handle it. Anyway, Hardaway and Kidd were going to be backcourt 2000, as they call it. Unfortunately, they only played 45 games together because Hardaway and Kidd both had a major injury. But the Suns were the 5 seed in the Western Conference playoffs. Hardaway stepped up in Jason Kidd's absence when Kidd got hurt, and the Suns won the first round against the San Antonio Spurs. Penny would have to face Shaq in the conference semifinals and fell in 5 games. Unfortunately, though, Hardaway had to miss every game but 4 due to microfracture surgeries on his left knee. But Penny came back in a massive way, played 80 regular season games. Penny did not like Marbury's shoot first style. Hardaway liked Kidd's pass first style. But, Hardaway was doing pretty well. Unfortunately, though, after Jul18 was added to the Suns, Penny was made to the bench. So Penny would shuffle in and out the Suns starting lineup. It was getting too much, and by January 2004, he wanted out. So he was traded alongside Stephen Marbury for Howard Isley, Charlie Ward, Antonio McDyess, and a nobody. So that was huge help. Marbury, that was the trade that sent Marbury to New York. So anyway, it was huge. Phoenix used the cap room by getting rid of Marbury and Hardaway to get Steve Nash to a big free agency deal. So he went to the Knicks and helped them make the 2004 playoffs, where they lost in the first round to the Nets. Unfortunately, injuries would hurt. His arthritic knees were terrible. Hardaway was traded back to Orlando for Steve Francis, which was huge. But unfortunately, 5 days later, the Magic waived him. And then Penny was signed in 2007 to be in Miami. He wore number 7. But that was the first time and only time that he didn't wear number 1. Anyway, the Miami Heat waived him and all that. He played 16 games for the Heat. But that was it. So anyway, he was hired by Memphis in 2018 to be the head coach and got them to the NIT. He looked pretty good with commitments. He got James Wiseman, DJ Jeffries, Bookie Ellis, and Precious Achua. So he got some good moves and all that. Penny Hardaway actually was in a Nike advertising campaign, Little Penny, which featured a puppet alter ego voiced by Christopher Rock. I think it was for Sprite too. But anyway, Hardaway owns a barbershop and beauty salon in Memphis. He wanted to promote sports in Memphis and all that. Penny's son, Jaden, plays guard for the University of Memphis. So yeah, he really is helping Memphis out. So yeah, he deteriorated because of injuries and all that. He still played 704 regular season games, 15.2 points per game, 5 assists per game. Not really high for a point guard. 4.5 rebounds. In the playoffs, he had that one magic moment in '95. Well, '96 too, but after that, he just was inconsistent in the playoffs. 64 games, 20.4 points per game, 6.2 assists per game. Not bad. So yeah. As a head coach, he's 85-43. He led Memphis to the 2021 NIT championship, and in 2022 they got to the second round of the NCAA. It's the only time Memphis has gotten it in his 4 years of coaching. He's still the coach, and we don't know what's going to happen to the University of Memphis. There's a lot of issues going on, so stay tuned. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. I do.